Fun fact about Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton was only a student when his interest in optics began. His interest was aroused in 1664 after reading the works of English physicists Robert Boyle and Robert Hooke on optics and light. Over the next 2 years, Newton would come into what he called the prime of his age for invention. During this time, he not only wrote the mathematical principles of natural physiology, philosophy, also known as Principia. I don't know I pronounce exactly, but also conducted experiments on light as refracted by a glass prism. According to legend, Newton saw a set of glass triangles at a county fair. He bought them, took them home with him, and experimented with them. If the story is true, Newton's trip to the county fair helped to change the history of science. Newton's experiments were novel for his time. In those days, scientists believed that the colors produced by passing light through a prism came from the glass and not the light itself. Descartes, for instance, believed that the material or medium transformed in the light into the different colors of the spectrum. He thought that white light itself was pure and unchangeable, but Descartes never performed scientific experiments to support his claims. Isaac Newton, on the other hand, carried out very elaborate experiments on light. They were to challenge earlier notions about light. Puncturing a sheet of black paper, Newton passed the light through his hole and then allowed the light to pass through a prism. Thus, he found that white light was actually a mixture of varied colored rays in a rainbow or spectrum. Newton went one step further by passing the divided light into another prism. This time, the light converged into its original form. Newton discussed the results of his experiments in a book titled Optics. This book is still being used in university physics classes today. Seriously? Fun fact about bilingual. Although many people are bilingual or trilingual, those individuals with a huge degree of proficiency in several languages are known as polyglots, while those with the ability to speak six or more are designated as hyperpolyglots. Recently, there has been considerable debate within the scientific community over whether the extensive linguistic capacities of certain people can be attributed to biological or behavioral factors. One theory to account for this phenomenon is that polyglots and hyperpolyglots are biologically different from those who are unable to learn more than one or two languages. Yeah, it was me. Several experiments have shown that the cerebral cortexes of these individuals have a distinct shape and structure, particularly in the um, parietal lobes, areas that are associated with the processing of audio information. In addition, the white matter that connects these components of the brain has a much greater volume. Interesting. What this suggests is that certain people have a genetic inclination towards language acquisition, which gives them an inherent advantage over others when engaged in this activity. This theory is further strengthened by the fact that specialized aptitude tests that have shown to have predictive power regarding the future linguistic talents of children. While it is generally accepted that genetic characteristics may impact an individual's ability, recent research has questioned the direct correlation between physiology and aptitude. It has been suggested that as a person utilizes certain aspects of their brain more frequently, it may lead to the alteration of the structure of this organ. Thus, the physical differences found in polyglots and hyperpolyglots could be the result of behavioral factors such as continual language acquisition. The orthodysmy rather than the cause. In addition, linguists have pointed out that once an individual has acquired two or more, it becomes much easier to learn subsequent ones. This is because he or she has a better understanding of the fundamental components of the language and the manner in which they are related to each other. This means that it is possible for anyone to become multilingual if he or she is willing to expend the effort requires to do so. Yeah, I agree with 100%. There is a biological factor and also there is behavioral factor too. But behavioral factors can overcome the biological factor in the most of the case.